U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on January the 6th that Washington fully trusts the resilience of South Korea's democracy and the leadership of acting President Choi Sang-mok. Blinken also expressed condolences to the air crash of Jeju Airline.
And on behalf of the American people, let me say how deeply saddened we are by the plane crash in Muon. We have a team from the National Transportation Safety Board, from the Federal Aviation Administration, from Boeing, all here in Korea on the ground to support the investigation into this disaster. And I just want to reaffirm that the United States is here to help in any way that we can.
In that meeting, Blinken also emphasized Washington's unwavering security commitment to South Korea and called for a strong joint defense posture to prepare for possible North Korea provocations. At the meantime, North Korea fired a ballistic missile out to sea off its east coast. The missile launch, the first in around 2 months, coincided with Blinken's visit to Seoul and during a period of political hiatus in South Korea. Blinken also condemned North Korea.
We condemn the DPRK's missile launch just today, yet another violation of multiple UN Security Council resolutions.
Blinken mentioned that Washington believed Russia intended to share space and satellite technology with North Korea in exchange for its support for the Ukraine war, in which more than 1,000 North Korean soldiers have been killed or wounded. Reported by Worldwide News.
On Monday, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer hit back at a series of scathing online attacks from US billionaire Elon Musk, who has been targeting him over his past role as Director of Public Prosecutions. The criticism stems from historical child sexual abuse cases in northern England, which were first exposed during Starmer's tenure. Musk has sharply criticized Starmer and other Labour figures, accusing them of ignoring the victims of grooming gangs to maintain political support. Although Musk called for a new public inquiry, Starmer swiftly responded, calling the attacks misinformation and accusing those spreading them of exploiting the situation for their own political gain.
Hoping that the media will amplify it. But when the poison of the far right leads to serious threats, then in my book, a line has been crossed.
In addition to the grooming scandal controversy, Musk stirred further ire among Britons after posting a poll on his social media platform X, asking if America should liberate the people of Britain from their tyrannical government. This led many to accuse Musk of meddling in UK politics, with Londoners saying he should stay out of the country's affairs.
I get nervous when he starts paying large amounts of money and having a very direct influence on our politics, because I think it's hard for the person in the street like me to really understand what's going on when there's so much influence.
The remarks come after Musk publicly distanced himself from Nigel Farage, leader of the Reform UK Party, following a brief show of support. In addition, Musk's recent endorsements of far-right parties in both the UK and Germany have also raised eyebrows. Worldwide News Report.
Tech innovators from around the world descended on Las Vegas on Sunday, January 5th to show off and try out the latest gadgets and innovations ahead of CES 2025.
I'm punching this monkey with the gloves, and then I can feel like feedback on my arms whenever I punch. And then I can grab this bat, and then I can feel feedback on the arms and on the right side of my vest whenever I hit the mannequin.
CES 2025, formerly known as the Consumer Electronics Show, runs January 7th to 10th and is used to debut products ranging from new automotive technology to quirky gadgets, as well showing new ways to use artificial intelligence.
This is the robot, and the means robot means the AI robotic pet. It's like a real cat dog. You can touch it, it will feel your touching, and it can recognize you and recognize all kinds of items. If you can try to build some long-term relationship with human beings, in knows who is friend, who is strangers, and try to play with you.
On the other hand, while AI will still be the buzzword on the show floor, the issue of Trump tariffs will be top of mind in policy sessions, press conferences, and on the sidelines. Many companies may be asked about changing suppliers and moving production to the United States to mitigate supply chain disruptions, but moves that take time and are expensive. Reported by Worldwide News.
In a speech outlining France's foreign policy for the year ahead, President Emmanuel Macron made headlines by calling for a realistic approach from Ukraine regarding its territorial demands in the ongoing conflict with Russia. Macron's comments, delivered to French ambassadors at the Élysée Palace, come at a time when Russia occupies roughly one-fifth of Ukraine's territory, following its invasion in February 2022.
Changer la nature de la situation et convaincre la Russie de venir à la table des négociations. Les Ukrainiens ont à mener des discussions réalistes sur les questions territoriales et eux seuls peuvent les conduire.
As both Ukraine and Russia prepare for future battles before the inauguration of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, Macron emphasized the need for continued American involvement in the conflict. He urged the U.S. to help shift the dynamics of the war and pressure Russia to negotiate.
Là-dessus, n'ayons aucune illusion, et je crois qu'elle apparaît de plus en plus clairement à tous, il n'y aura pas de solution rapide et facile en Ukraine. Le nouveau président américain sait lui-même que les États-Unis n'ont aucune chance de gagner quoi que ce soit si l'Ukraine perd. Et je vais le dire de manière très simple, en quelque sorte, les quelques lignes. Et au fond, les États-Unis d'Amérique ont à nous aider pour...
However, Macron also warned against what he described as a fatigue among Western nations, which could lead to compromises on Ukraine's sovereignty. He made it clear that a Ukrainian capitulation would be disastrous for both Europe and the US. The credibility of the West will be shattered if they allow Ukraine to be pressured into a settlement that doesn't honor its territorial integrity. As Macron's comments sparked debate, the future of the war remains uncertain, with many eyes on the evolving international negotiations. Worldwide News Report.
China's ice city of Harbin, the capital of northernmost Heilongjiang province, opened its annual ice and snow festival on January 5 with fireworks, colorful and shimmering ice castles and sculptures, and thrilling super ice slides. Many tourists visit, especially from southern provinces.
我从浙江杭州过来，然后第一次来哈尔滨，主要是想来体验一下哈尔滨的这种冰雪大世界这种冰雕文化，非常感受到了哈尔滨这边的热情，虽然很冷，但是非常好玩。
Many tourists enjoyed seeing the massive ice sculptures and other activities despite the -20 degrees Celsius. The festival themed Shared Dreams of Ice and Snow. United Hearts in Asia is the largest in history, featuring a record-breaking 300,000 cubic meters of ice and snow, the highest amount ever used.
还是很新奇的，看到一些我感觉是艺术家啊，他们做这些都是很辛苦的，我自己都冷得受不了，他们还是很厉害的。
Since its inception in 1983, the festival has drawn millions of visitors from around the world every year to Harbin, whereas one of China's coldest cities, can see temperatures drop as low as -35 degrees Celsius. Worldwide News reports.
Fierce fighting raged on in Russia's Kursk region for a second consecutive day on Monday, after Ukraine launched a counteroffensive on Sunday. Moscow has reported using artillery and air power to fend off the Ukrainian assault, claiming that Russian troops successfully halted an attempted breakthrough. The clash in Kursk follows a larger Ukrainian operation that began in August, which aimed to establish a buffer zone, preventing Russian forces from advancing into crucial parts of the front in eastern Ukraine.
Сьогодні рівно 5 місяців від початку наших дій на Курщині, і ми зберігаємо буферну зону на російській території. Активно знищуємо там.
Both sides have reported significant casualties, though the numbers remain unverified. Ukrainian officials stated on Monday that Russian forces have suffered 15,000 deaths and 23,000 injuries in the Kursk area over the past 5 months.
Російський військовий потенціал. За час Курської операції ворог втратив вже понад 38 тисяч своїх солдатів тільки на цьому одному напрямку.
In another development, Russia's military claimed to have captured the important town of Kurakhove in eastern Ukraine, a logistical hub vital for advancing their efforts in the Donetsk region. However, Ukrainian officials have yet to confirm this loss, continuing to report Russian assaults on the town. As both sides continue to suffer heavy casualties, the future of the conflict remains uncertain, with both Ukraine and Russia gearing up for continued clashes in the coming weeks. Worldwide News Report.
A bluefin tuna was sold for $1,316,835 on January 5, marking the second highest bid at Tokyo's Toyosu Fish Market's annual auction since its inception in 1999, according to market organizers. Weighing 276 kilograms, the prized catch was jointly bought by renowned tuna wholesaler Yamayuki and upscale sushi restaurant Sushi Ginza Onodera. The record for the highest bid at the annual auction stands at $3.1 million at the time, set in 2019, according to local media reports. Worldwide News reported.